What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to be talking about another getting prepared for Ulti Cup. I'm going to bring you 10 possible good decks, and 3 in the beginning are going to be like possible upsets that could throw people off that they're not prepared for. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and talk about it. So the first 3 decks of the 10 I'm going to present to you are going to be possible upsetters. They are designed very interestingly. This could have been easily RideMyAvatar here, but I feel like Lilith is still a very powerful deck. The deck has potential. Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's going to be at 1. So with Death Slinger at 1, it seems like the deck is a lot weaker, but it's not. Just having it at 1 is not terrible. You have like Grave Memory Boost, Miss Memory Boost, Jack Raids, and then Calling from Darkness to cycle your pieces back. Alice is in here for basically making it so you can get into your Megas for free. And then you have like Mad Ishida being Mad Ishida. The deck does benefit from milling out your opponent. With certain decks in the format, if you can mill them out fast enough, the decks kind of just fall off. You know, using War Greymon to basically trash the top 3 cards of both players' decks, and then you get a free Guillemon out of it, so that's pretty decent, which usually leads into being the Rush Guillemon, which is another option for the deck. The deck can rush your opponent out by just playing these Guillemons, climbing up and just milling and then attacking and doing all the fun good stuff. You know, there's plenty of mill from this Guillemon's Force on deletion. This Growlmon here that basically says delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less if known, trash the top 2. You know, there's plenty of options here, even with the black Growlmon that trashes 2. There's plenty of good stuff. And then Lilithmon cycling back your options like your Jack Raids, Grave Memory Boost, Miss Memory Boost, Purple Memory Boost, and Rival Barrage. So there's just plenty of good stuff to be cycled through. It does add up pretty quickly, and you can really be a threat of your own right. And again, this is just milling out your opponent. It's a viable strategy. It does top even last format. It had some tops in just natural events. So basically, even though we have a little bit ticked up speed, with Mirage being one of probably the best decks of Ulti Cup, it's just a possibility here. Shine definitely got neutered a bit, but with one of the events, it did have a top for the online Gen Con. So it's good just to take a look at a possibility. I think it won't show as often, but I like that they took, when they lost Marcus, they went for a Tai Kamiya route, which basically gain a memory, draw a card, keeping tempo if you promote up early. You know, you do have to find the one Marcus, and if it's in your security, you at least have a way of getting it out with Geogray, or it's in your deck. So you have to dig quite deep, so that's where Tai comes in when you promote up. Hopefully, the more ties you have on board, the more draws and gain memory shenanigans can get you deeper into the deck. If you see Marcus at 1, sometimes that's all you need. The game strategy is similar to what you want to do, but you have to rely like on Shine Greymon here and the Agumon here that both make your Marcuses, which will most likely be your Mem Setter, a Digimon. So that's going to be your big draw point and your focus. What I would probably personally do for his deck list is bring this down by 2 and then just go up 4 here. Yes, you want to see him as often as you do to push, but I think being able to guarantee that your Marcuses become punchy boys is very vital, in my opinion. And maybe change out Greymon for a red hybrid for game shenanigans, just in case you need something to close out or climb up on. But then, I think Alphamon is a heavy hitter that's going to be slept on just a bit here. Let's see. Dory. So let's make sure we get that. So, people might be sleeping on Alphamon, don't sleep on it. I think with the new support it got with Doro Gray, the deck has a little bit more footing to stand on. I think the deck has potential to do some great stuff. And again, the first 3 decks are just potential decks that can just do something. The rest are kind of more geared towards, it has some meta competitive viability that can lead to being some destructive wins. You know, Alphamon or Ryukin being able to restand, swing in. You could definitely put Sunrizamon in here because Sunriza at least does stuff. Sunriza Sun, Riza. Let's see. Can I get the promo? Yep, I did. So, you could definitely have more Sun or Rizamon in here, just because we will be playing more Black Bamboos. We did lose out on Cool Boy. That really does hurt a little bit. You just have to go with more Black Bamboos and Kodas and Yugis, just to really complete the tempo. But the deck has a good footing on here. I think even just going down to 2 with this list, and then basically guaranteeing your rookie count is a little bit stronger for security removal. It's not bad as well. I mean, you could go this route too. 3 security punchers and stuff like that. You could play Zubagon Punch to get more damage in. The deck has a lot going for it. And, you know, it's still a deck that can just control and deal damage and percent lethal in its own right. The new Doro Gray, like I said, this card being able to make it so his DB can't be reduced until the end of opponent's turn is not really what you care for. It's basically, if you really think about it, you really want some way of preventing. So if you use what is it, Breath of the Gods. Let's see. So if you want to reboot, it can't be or return to its owner's hand or deck until the end of opponent's turn. If you think blue is going to be that dominant, you can easily tech that in. You know, figuring out the spot space is just the problem. I mean, you could go like this real quick. I mean, losing 1 Yugi is not terrible. I think you need 3 Black Bamboos for this deck to really pop off, though. So, that's just me. But then, we do have Doro Brick, aka Raggy, Black War Gray deck. So, this focuses on basically applying pressure and then joggering Ragna game shenanigans. Basically, you'll build 1 stack, get it up with Gaiomon to remove everything, and then if you're at 3 memory, slam down Doro Brick, basically take the Flame Dramon for its end of turn Joggerus, make Raggy Boy, and then boom, you win. So that's a vital possibility with this deck. It has a lot of potential. It's very scary. It showed toppings last Ultimate Cup run, so we could possibly see this again. So that's something to really take in consideration. The deck has a lot of strengths, and it has a lot of its weaknesses still present, but the deck can do a lot of damage. So just keep this on your radar, especially if you guys want to play something like this. The deck is just focusing on winning with Ragna. You could win other ways, but you control the board until you're ready to Ragna game. So talk about as a possibility, I know I should have put this at the beginning of the video, but I miscalculated midway through, is Bloom Rosemon Burst Mode. You could say possibly the Leopardmon deck, but I feel like Leopardmon is not going to do what Rosemon Burst Mode can do. It's just another mini Quartzmon going at you, and being able to lock down opponents, you know, Tamers and Digimon don't unsuspend can lead to being very annoying, and a lot of players can't handle it this format. So I think a lot of Ulti Cup players are going to not be able to stop this deck right away. So we do have Red Hybrid. Red Hybrid, just using Atomic Infernos and Lightning Joust combined can just lead to being a scary push your opponent for all they have for security. So it's a very potent option. There's no way around that, and I think that's very vital for the game strategy. The deck still stands on what it wants to do, and it's still going to be able to do what it wants. Being able to just clear out security left and right, and then basically win by hybrid game the following turn can lead to being very scary for your opponent, especially if you're going second and they give you like 3 memory and you had a hybrid. If you're going first, I mean. So if you set yourself up and your second turn is set up to Digivolve Hybrid, Atomic Inferno, and Lightning Joust, boom. You know, all this does add up pretty quickly. I mean, even just Lightning Joust, Atomic Inferno, stuff like that just really does set your opponent back. You know, just being able to do that. The number is less than or equal to your opponent, so basically clear out your opponent's security in one go. Then we do have, you know, the good old Bloom Hydra Quartz. The deck is still really solid. The deck's going to be able to do what it wants with no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So people saying, oh no, we're going to lose to this. No, you're fine. Then you do have Devimon, Astamon, you know, the Alphamon Rage Mode deck. So being able to go into Sleep, Rage Mode, all the key pieces are in the deck. It didn't lose anything for Ulti Cup, so it's got a lot of potential. Then we do have Blue Flare coming up. Blue Flare is one of the best decks going into the format. Using Soul Rai can easily help, you know, deal with any weird strategies your opponent is throwing at you. You know, you do have, like, the Metal Greymons here. Oh, this should be like that. So being able to swing in and stun, because of the way this works, especially if Alphamon becomes a little bit stronger and being able to do the Sleep Rage combo, this card counteracts that because you can target it and then your opponent can't do anything afterwards. And because even if they blow up your stack, you can recycle and get pieces back later anyway. You'll be able to jog rest the following turn and just keep stunning it and locking it down. Then we do have, you know, Mirage Galga. It definitely showed in the last online Ulti Cup to be one of the best decks. The deck just does what it wants to do. As long as it seizes pieces, it can get scary, and it's one of the burst mode decks that just OTKs you left and right. So I think this is very vital to keep in mind when it comes down to deck building and stuff like that. This is a very powerful deck. So guys, I think this is going to be vital. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.